the drive, goes inside the floor. Scoops it up. Booker brings the boom.
We're back post NBA All-Star break, 7-game slate here on Thursday afternoon. Big T, you enjoy the NBA All-Star break, letting everyone know Kevin Durant doesn't have it. No more tweets, no more political tweets from me, Big T. We're here to talk hoops. We got sports back in our lives, and we're good to go. How you doing, Big T?
Is that how you spent your All-Star break? You dove back into the political landscape. How'd that work out for you?
Worked out all right.
You didn't get any people jumping out. Usually, if you post stuff like that, there's no way people weren't.
I don't read the mentions, so I'm sure there were some mean words said my way, but we'll survive.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, I think we did the show last, whatever it was, Thursday or Friday, or probably earlier because the All-Star break. Whenever we did the show, though, you kind of talked about it, where the first couple days you kind of enjoy it, and then it just starts to drag a little bit, where you don't, like the last couple days are the first time I can remember in real long time where there was hardly any action that I could even find out there, where like sometimes you get like other sports and stuff going during the breaks. Like MLB All-Star breaks always brutal too, because there's not that much going in the summer, but you still get some fun stuff. And it's in the summer when you can actually do stuff, go outside and stuff. But these last couple days, I mean, there just wasn't anything to do, it felt like. So it was a little rough, but now we get back into the full swing of the dog days of the NBA season, where these games right out of the break, I mean, good luck getting a read on some of these teams that are just full tank mode and now getting in trouble from the NBA. So do they take it even further and just like rule out guys for the rest of the year type thing with the injuries? I've already seen it on a few spots where is the guy like Kyrie? I mean, ACLs are like 7-month injuries now. He's going to take off a year and a half for an ACL? I mean, and you can't really patrol it, right? I mean, if they roll him out for the year, I don't know what you're supposed to do. And your freaking Durant comment, like, you don't seriously like this guy's underachieved his whole career, is he not?
No, he hasn't.
How is he not? Everybody thinks he's like, they put him on the same category as Steph and LeBron, and I just don't see how. Like, I don't see how he's not the third wheel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's quite as good as LeBron, but yeah, I don't know. What, two-time finals
way better than Steph? Like, you think he's way better than Steph, his career?
Yeah, you got the 2 finals MVPs, right?
Yeah, for joining their team, and yeah. I mean, he couldn't even make the playoffs with Phoenix. Like, how do you not make the playoffs? What if LeBron didn't make the playoffs? People would riot.
Yeah, they would.
10 teams make the freaking playoffs. Like, each conference, 20 teams make the playoffs.
JSU might have to come to the LeBron side after that Michael Jordan video.
People were getting mad at me about that video. I got in trouble on Twitter. I'm like, I am just joking. Like, obviously, I have no idea what to do. People were like legit mad. Like, he's known that kid his whole life. I'm like, I'm just joking. You guys can get all mad about that. I just posted the video.
It's good to get the people fired up once in a while.
On All-Star Week, you gotta throw some stuff out there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Let's we'll start with your favorite player, Mr. Kevin Durant, and the Houston Rockets face the surging Charlotte Hornets, who have played well. Hornets, though, will be without Diabate and Miles Bridges, so 2 key pieces for them. Diabate has been really effective player for Charlotte, so a pretty big loss for the Hornets. And then Houston pretty much fully healthy, I believe. Yeah, they've got pretty much everybody in there tonight. So Charlotte shorthanded. Houston has their dudes. Houston favored by 4.5, 218 total. This will be interesting to watch because the Durant stuff, I mean, all his teammates are pissed at him now? I mean, he said these guys can't play. I don't know. I'll be curious to watch this game and maybe see what the Houston announcers have to say about it. But interesting stuff there. And then, obviously with Charlotte, with the two guys missing, going to have a different rotation tonight than we were typically used to seeing with them. Pulling up the game here. Yeah. So some ownership on this game, but not too crazy for a 7-game slate. Low total sitting at around 218. And Houston favored by 4. What do you see here, Big T?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Well, how is the Durant stuff going to impact the locker room? And I know people make jokes about it. I make jokes about it. But when you actually break it down to actual team and chemistry in the locker room, it can't be good, right?
No.
All these guys are younger. I mean, I haven't looked at the whole roster. Maybe there's a couple older ones in there, but for the most part, younger guys that haven't made a playoff anything yet. Last year they had a little bit of a playoff run, but nothing crazy. And they look up to Durant. He comes, he's like the final piece. They probably looked up to him for the last how long's he been in the league? 15 years, 12 years, whatever it is. Looked up to him the whole time since they were kids. And then they see all these burner stories trashing and making fun of basically all of them, right? I mean, I didn't go down the rabbit hole of reading everything, but it seemed like he was trashing a lot of the key people, Jabari, Şengün. I mean, a lot of these guys, and they saw it. Their buddies are like, oh, you see what KD wrote about you? Same thing we would. If I'm out there burners just trash talking DC, you're not gonna love that. You might take it as a joke, but you're not gonna love that. We've been buddies for a while. You're not gonna love that. I'm not gonna love it if you're doing that to me. So whether they admit it or not, which they won't admit it, they're pros. They're not gonna Şengün's not gonna come out and be like, yeah, KD hurt my feelings. It's not gonna happen. But deep down, they have to be like, is he right about some stuff? Do I do this or do I do that? And just can't be good for team chemistry. And I already didn't like Houston. I mean, every time we go on the shows, they just don't have guards. I mean, you're relying on Reed Shepherd a lot, who, I mean, whatever, he's fine, but do you really want him to be one of your best guards, if not your best true guard? Because Amen Thompson is more of a wing to me, great defender, more of a wing. I mean, their only true guard is Shepherd. Yeah, you can run the offense through Şengün and Durant. You still need guards, though. So you got problems. And then you look at the Charlotte side. They just have played really good basketball. They do have people out tonight. Who two guys out, you said?
Diabate and Bridges, yeah.
And their starting lineup with all 5 of the guys, LaMelo, Brandon Miller, Concaniple, and those two, putting up just great numbers, not losing hardly any games going into the break. But now you go back and you got a lot of guys in the rotation that haven't needed to play as big a role. Even Grant Williams, 4K projected for 21, 22 tonight. He's got a lot bigger role just with these two guys out. But do you ever feel good about Grant Williams for 4K? I mean, he's the same dude he's always been his whole career. I mean, he's fine, but I feel better with him at 3,400 rather than 4K, where if he gets 15, I'm okay. 15 at 4K isn't going to do it. Concanipple's price is finally up too. He's 7,100. I don't think he's been, maybe I'm wrong. I don't follow this super close with the pricing. I don't remember him being in the 7s though. Brandon Miller, 8K. LaMelo, a small projection coming out of the break. Like you said, a low total here too. Houston's got pretty good defenders to match up with Charlotte. And then you look at the Houston bodies, and everyone feels overpriced to me too there. Even Eason and Jabari, 6Ks. Reed Shepherd's 5,200. I mean, there doesn't seem to be any sort of value coming from this game for me at all.
I don't see much either. You think the Durant stuff, I mean, it's kind of hard to predict how it would impact the on-court. Is he going to be less aggressive, maybe try to pass the ball to his teammates? I don't know if there's much.
I think the one thing you're definitely correct on it. I mean, he's an alpha and doesn't care what anyone. He's used to haters. So, I really don't think it impacts anything with him. He's such an alpha, in his own mind, that I think he plays the exact same. I think it impacts more the Jabaris, the younger guy, even Şengün. I I mean, you don't want the vet coming in and just trashing you. Like I definitely think it impacts them more.
Yeah, might like the Charlotte side here, betting wise, with maybe some turmoil with the Houston Rockets. But I'm with you fantasy wise. Like these guys seem okay, right? Like you can play. I think LaMelo or Durant or Brandon Miller or Khan, but the prices are up, man. 8K for Brandon Miller feels like a lot to me. So I'm with you. Not a ton of interest in this game. You have a favorite play if you had to go to one guy in this game?
It's crazy as it sounds. It might be Durant just coming out of all that with all the chatter. He's only 8,600. I don't love it. You're making me like Houston. The only guy I think I can play is Durant. Charlotte, I just don't see anything I like. I mean, Nipple maybe, but he's 7,100 against Houston, who can put a guy like Amin on him. I think it's Durant. I really do, but I honestly don't love anything from this game. I think it's a pretty clear-cut fade for me.
Yeah, Sabres got Grant Williams as the best point per dollar value here. You can see on the Sabres screen. I don't know. He's going to have to play minutes, right? With Diabate and Miles Bridges missing, but never feel good about Grant Williams even at 4K. But I think he's a fine value piece if you do need some salary savings there.
What kind of minutes has he been like? I know they've been pretty much
around 30 the last couple games.
Even at full strength, he has.
Can't remember. I can't remember.
I mean, 30, 25, 32 the last two games. Now you're shorthanded. I mean, he might get up to 40 freaking minutes or something. I wonder how many minutes that's got him projected at on Sabre.
Yeah.
I am curious. Like project. I mean, it's got to be upwards of high 30s. I would assume. I don't have minutes on my Sabre. I was trying to find how many it had it projected for, but let me see.
I mean, I would assume, 30, 35 minutes for.
We're probably heavy, right? Like it feels heavy. I feel like we're probably giving him too much credit, but I can't find it on Sabre. So if he only played 30 something, I don't see who else they play though. Like their bench isn't that deep when you erase two people out of there.
Exactly. Yeah. They just don't have much on the wing when you take those two guys out. So yeah, Williams, I think good value, but not a game that either of us love a ton. Let's go to what I think is a much better game: Atlanta and Philadelphia. Embiid gonna sit this one out, which you get the whole All-Star break, and then you come back and you're like, I can't go the first game. I don't really get it. But
people still say that he's more talented than LeBron, and it's just hilarious.
Embiid.
Yeah, I heard someone the other day, like a somewhat sharp person too. I forget who it was, like on TV, like someone that's, I don't know. I don't remember who, so I don't want to say the wrong person, but yeah, I just don't get it. If you can't stay on the court, and I know Jokic got hurt again this year, and I know I'm a Jokic blowhard, so you shouldn't really factor that, but he's just better. Like, I don't care who you are. He's better, and he stays on the court. Yeah, he had one injury, but whatever.
Yeah, so no Embiid for Philly. Paul George obviously has the suspension. He's been out, 20 days now or something like that. And then they traded Jared McCain as well. So shorthanded Philly team here. I think they start Bona, right? I believe when Embiid hits. Yeah, Drummond has kind of lost some playing time. So big loss for Philly for sure. And then on the Atlanta side, looks like they should be mostly healthy here. Kuminga not ready to go yet, but they got everyone else in. Monster total here, sitting around 240. Philadelphia favored by 1. And yeah, I think this is a much better game than the first one. Got the Sabre projections here. Johnson, Maxey, Edgecombe. All these guys look pretty good to me. I think Maxey gonna have to do a ton here with no Embiid, no Paul George, and no McCain as well. So I like Maxey as a spend, one of my favorite spends on this slate. And then a good, I think, a star stack here if you want to play Maxey, Johnson together. Hope for a high scoring, close game. Seems pretty likely. Good game here on the second game of the slate.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. It's just an awesome spot where everybody that was overpriced in the first game, it feels like everyone's underpriced here in this game, right? Like, on the Philly side for sure. I mean, Maxey's the best value of the slate, even at 9,600. I totally agree with you. I just don't see how he doesn't, unless he just misses shots, which you can't control. Like he's gonna crush. VJ Edgecombe had a big all-star weekend. Like he was one of the stars in the Rising Stars or whatever they call it now, whatever that game is. But he looked awesome. He's only 6,500. Oubre's only 6,200, going to play mid-30s minutes. Barlow, I think, who will start. He's similar. He's the same price as Grant Williams. He's also similar play, I would say, to Grant Williams, probably a little bit more upside, but he's still only 4K. He's going to start against Atlanta. He's got a low 20s projection. I think you have to like him. Bona, I'm always a little scared to play Bona because his minutes, and he's not like crazy talented. But the same example I gave on the last slate where Grant Williams, just use Drummond, for example, 4,300. He's 3,300. Year after year, we talk about this on these shows. The difference between 3,300 and 4,300 is way different than just the 1K price. Like 9K to 10K doesn't mean that much. 4,300 to 3,300, you're literally 25% increase. And if Bona gets like 15, you're not dead. If Grant Williams or Drummond gets 15, you're in real trouble down there. So it's a huge difference. I think you have to take note of Bona. I think even guys like Quentin Grimes and Watford, even though they're not starters, they're low 4Ks. Their prices are awesome. So Philadelphia definitely, to me, is the most clear-cut spot of the whole slate. I'm with you. Maxey's my favorite spin. Edgecombe is one of my favorite mid-range plays. Honestly, I think both of these guys go pretty crazy in this game. And then, like I said, Bona, it's going to be tough for me not to play him. The Atlanta side, I don't think it's as good, but you can make a lot of cases for these guys. Jalen Johnson off All-Star weekend as well. He's got to have some. I like playing these young guys coming off like their first All-Star weekend where they're around all the other stars. They get kind of their juices flowing. Whereas the vets coming out of the All-Star break maybe ease up a little bit coming back in. The younger guys, I think they like it energizes them being around all those studs. Jalen Johnson's one of those guys. Dyson Daniels' price feels cheap. And then you got some guys that the price is just like too high. Okongwu's too high. No, it's crazy high right now. You can't play him at 7,400. That's a bad price point to me. I mean, you could play him, but I don't think it's great, even though his projection's 35. And not a ton down there. So definitely higher on the Philadelphia side than Atlanta. But Philly, man, I don't know how. Do you have that? Oh, you got just that game. But, like, look at the value on all of those on SaberSim. All of those Philly guys, you got 4 of the top 8 right there or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Just amazing freaking value. All of them with over a 5. That's kind of what I do. Like when I'm hand building, I like to like sort by value when we're like doing our content and stuff and see what pops up. When you see all 5s and 6s, I mean, it's just slam dunk city for me at least.
Yeah. I mean, I think Philadelphia, unless they get blown out or something like that, which happens sometimes, but you can't project that on a 1-point spread. They're going to have some guys get there, right? They just kind of have to, given the values. Like I said, you sort by the value here on Saber and what the top 7 players in this game, at least, all come from the Philadelphia side. So how do you rank these guys? To me, Maxey's the first guy in for Philadelphia for me. Someone I want to build around Carson here. He's fading Maxey, but I think you're on board with Maxey. How do you rank them beyond Maxey? Yeah, I'm playing Maxey. It sounds like you're the same way.
I mean, it's like astronomically the best play of the night. That's why the ownership's high for sure, but it's not that high. I mean, it's projected to be in the 30s. I mean, what's Saber got him at?
I got him at 28, 30% about should be.
Even give him an extra 10 just because he's the best play. High 30s even. That's high. Like I guess I don't. In the NBA, you got to play some chalky guys here. You're allowed to pivot here and there, but I don't see any issue with not just slamming him in there.
Yeah, I'm with you. What about Edgecombe, Oubre, Grimes, the three wings? Edgecombe and Oubre, basically the same price. You have a lean between those two?
No, Edgecombe for sure for me. I think he's going to take a leap, like especially with Embiid out. I think it's Maxey and Edgecombe just going to go nutty together. Like I think you could see Maxey get like 60 and Edgecombe get like in the 40s type game. I like love the upside in this spot. I just think he's got a whole new confidence from that All-Star weekend. I know people don't, and they make fun of me for like my field plays like this, but I feel like coming out of the All-Star break, he's going to be one of the guys to keep your eye on, especially when Embiid's out. If Embiid's in there, it demands a lot more of the ball. Obviously, it takes that because he's an ISO type guy. So I want him in there with Maxey where they can work off each other.
I'm with you. Yeah, Edgecombe over Oubre. Looks like they'll be about the same ownership. Have Sabres got them close to the same projection as well.
I do love them both too, for the record.
Yeah.
I got no problem with playing. It's probably tough to play all three. It's probably tough for all of them to get there, but I like all three of them.
Yeah, Philly looks awesome. Anyone on Atlanta? I mean, it looks like Jalen Johnson, the only one really getting ownership here. Daniels, I think, would be my second favorite at 6,400. You have any other leans on the Atlanta guys?
Yeah, it would be Daniels for me too. I don't love how he's looked. Let me look at his so going into the break. Atlanta's one of those teams that just worries me too with how they've played. I mean, you pull him up and he did have a few good games back late January, 35 minutes. Yeah, I mean, he's got upside. It would be Daniels for me, but I worry about teams like Atlanta. I don't understand their incentives and kind of what they got going on. But I'm with you. He'd be my guy.
Yeah, I don't mind McCollum either, playing 32, 33 minutes off the bench, but the minutes are going to be there on a nightly basis for him and playing pretty well. I think they need his offense. So, yeah, that's Atlanta and Philly. Let's go to the next game on the slate here, Indiana and Washington, two of the worst teams in the NBA. We've got a tank off here. I don't think either team wants to win this game. Injury news, Indiana, Siakam already out. No Zubac available yet. And then Potter, Neesmith, McConnell, and Quentin Jackson are all questionable. And then the Washington side looks like, at least for now, they're going to play their guys. Still no Trae Young. Don't know if he's going to even come back, but we'll see. But yeah, Sarr's out as well. Should have mentioned that. So it'll be Vucevic probably getting the majority of the minutes at center. Sabres got him as the top value in this game and one of the top values on the slate. He always makes me a little nervous too, but starting center at 4,300 with really no real backup. Got to have some interest there. But I'll probably be cautious with this game just because of the incentives of these two teams. Just hard to know if you're going to get the minutes, and even in a close game. So we'll see how that goes. Indiana favored by 232 total. So, in theory, at least a pretty decent game environment, but it's tough when you get teams this bad, this late in the season to know what they're going to do. What do you see here between the Pacers and the Wizards?
I'll answer this real quick too. What are some good rules for a 20 max lineup? I mean, for NBA, I don't set rules at all. I would just put it in SaberSim, run my projections, and run the sims and see what you get. But I mean, would you use any rules for 20 max or any sort of like multi 150, 20? Do you like set rules?
NBA seems like most people, you're just trying to get more exposure than the field to the good plays and less to the bad ones. So I don't think you need to. I mean, if you go to baseball or something, you need kind of all sorts of rules with the stacking, but yes. NBA is a different beast, right?
Yeah, 100%. And there's definitely sports where I like rules, showdown stuff. I like some rules here and there, like
NFL stacking rules with bringbacks. But yeah, NBA is the one sport where,
the only thing I would even consider like with NBA rules is like spots like Philly where we love it. I mean, I'd be a little careful with like not just slamming 6 of them in there, which I've done in the past, just because their projections all line up. it'll give you a lot of them, and it's tough for all of them to get there. So the only rule I would even think about is one of those, like today, I don't know, 3 max Philly or something, 3 or 4 max Philly. You don't want to go like super crazy, but I'd be easy on the rules for sure. Saber Sim is so good these days, especially if you got the Sims, our partner Saber Sim. I'm not saying it either just because they're our partner. They're the best. Like, you put it in there, you adjust your projections, guys you like, you bump, guys you hate, you pull out or go under on, and then just run it. Let the Sims give you what you need and put them in there. And it's how you should do it for NBA, at least I feel like.
One rule I do like for NBA is splitting up the centers on teams. So like for Philly with Drummond and Bona, right, who are never going to share the court. And like if one of them crushes, it's probably at the expense of the other one because you don't know where the minutes are going to go. So max one of when a team has 2 traditional centers who can't play together. Those aren't guys I love to have on the same DFS roster.
I love that. That's a great example because those two, easily one of them could crush, and you got foul trouble the situation with those two. Like, the only exception would be like, I don't know, like you said, there's in this Washington game that I'm about to look at, like you got Vooch, but you don't have any other real center. But just say there was another really cheap guy in there, like a 3K guy, whoever it would be. Sometimes I'd be okay with running both, but the perfect example is what you said, Drummond and Bona, who are never playing together, and there's a decent chance one or both ends up in foul trouble. So I think that's a real nice rule for that one.
Yeah. What about this Indiana-Washington game? Vucevic, like you said.
I agree a lot with you on the Washington side. Just they have a lot of bodies. I mean, you're looking 2, 4, 6, 10 plus bodies that have a projection. I'm going to have a hard time not playing Vooch. Again, to the ownership point, I don't worry about ownership in NBA. He's projected for almost 30 at 4,300 against Indiana, who also doesn't really have size. I don't see how I really get away from him. You could, though. You can get away from anything on Washington, and I'm not going to make fun of you. They have a lot of guys. They could tank. They could do anything. But the rest of this team, I mean, just looking through it, I'm a sucker for this Will Riley, too. I think he's pretty good. I think the matchup's good versus Indiana. They like to run a little bit. I think but his price is high, though. 4,400 for a shooter type guy. I don't know if that price is great, but he falls in that same bucket with the 2 earlier guys we talked about. Who was it? Grant Williams and Barlow. Those 2 guys, very similar low 4K plays. I don't know if Riley, super similar to those guys. I guess I like him maybe more than those 2, but and then the Indiana side, it's truly, you're just going to have to wait. You're going to have to be in the Discord. I mean, you got half the team questionables, a couple probables. You got a team that clearly is not playing for anything. I mean, Indiana has a lot of moving parts. So I want to see. The good thing is it's a 7:00 start, though. So you get all the news before tip. You can see who's starting. You can see who's in, who's out. Like some of the guys expensive, I'm never going to play for Indiana. Nembhard at 7,300. Grades out is a pretty good play with ownership even. I just can't pay 7,300 for an Indiana guard right now with all the stuff they got going on. I will say, though, that could change if certain guys are out. If, like, McConnell and Quentin Jackson are both out or something, and all of a sudden the guard path is even lower. That's why, I mean, I don't even know how to analyze this without knowing all these guys that are in. You just have a full smorgasbord. So I don't know. Who would I like if they're all in? I mean, Jay Huff at 5,200. I think he's a decent play. Potter, I mean, what did Potter do that one? Didn't he go for like something crazy going into the All-Star break? Like a 50 ball, 43 ball, felt like 50. Yeah. 43, I don't know. Like, I don't love Indiana. I probably should like them more than I do, but they just have a lot of pieces. So hopefully, like, these questionable guys just get ruled out, and then all these other plays spike even more. The one guy I do like playing for Indiana is Jarris Walker, just because he's, like, not scared of anything. He'll just chuck. He will just chuck and keep going to the hoop, and they don't really have that, right? Like, look at all their roster pieces. Their other guys that are good aren't like true just go get it scorers. So I could see playing Jarris Walker for sure.
Yeah, I don't mind the Walker call. Yeah, like I said, I mean, these teams are like in a battle, right, for draft positioning at the bottom of the standings too. They've made their kind of intentions clear with the trade deadline and all that stuff. So yeah, I could see these teams like going deep into the bench in an attempt to get worse players on the court and try to lose this game. So a little bit.
Who do you think gets the bump? Mob wants to know, because I was looking at it when I was talking, and I think it's just like a group effort. They don't have. I mean, Anthony Gill.
It's so bad. Yeah,
I don't see anyone. Like, they could just go small though versus Indiana, I guess. But that's the point, though. I think you just play Vooch. There's no one there.
Yeah, Vucevic should get minutes. Pretty good play. I think at 4,300. I don't know, like Jay Huff at 30% ownership. That feels not
and
great.
In the 5Ks now on a team that can play dudes out of the stands if they want.
Yeah, we'll see how many of these guys end up playing for Indiana. But looking at the ownerships here on Saber, I mean,
it's crazy.
They all seem high to me on the
even versus like Washington is a good matchup, but like I'm totally with you. I don't trust Indiana for a second.
No, I don't trust either of these teams. And on a 7-game slate, I'll try to go elsewhere.
What do you do with your Saber when you're bumping your guys? Say you really like a guy. What? How do you go about bumping them?
Bump them a couple points, see if Saber gives me enough, and if not, I give them a couple.
keep cranking it up. That's exactly how I do.
I'm not the best at using the optimizer, so.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm no freaking expert with it either. It's kind of your own feel. Like, it's just, I think I've gotten better at it. Just like DC just said, where it's just trial and error. Okay. Say you don't like Vooch tonight. Say he gets in foul trouble. Maybe you lower him from 28 to 25. See, like right now I get 92% Vooch in my run. Say I want like 50% Vooch. Okay, I lower him to 25. See what I get. Okay, do I get 50? And then once I like it that way too. And people always ask why I don't like sweat the actual DraftKings during the slates. Because if I project Vooch for 25 and I play him, I know that's what he needs to get. So if he's like crushing the 25, I know I'm in good shape. And if he's like way lower, I know I'm probably not doing as good. So I know by just my numbers how I'm going to be doing once I get on there.
Yeah, makes sense. Let's go to the fourth and final 7 p.m. Eastern time game. Brooklyn Nets and Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs huge favorites here. What is it sitting around 16? 230 total in this one. Brooklyn will be without Claxton. Looks like, yeah, so it should be Daron Sharp getting the start for the Nets. They got everybody else healthy, though. And in Cleveland, relatively healthy as well. Obviously, a new look for Cleveland with the James Harden acquisition. They got Dennis Schroeder as well. And Mobley back, missed a game or two before the break. So pretty healthy teams here for the most part. This game, at least per the spread, by far the most likely to blow out of any game on the slate, which obviously, provides some caution to go into too many of these guys. But what are you doing with the Nets and the Cavaliers here?
Man, this is a tough one. Cleveland's kind of turning into a little bit of a wagon lately where you get Harden in there. The East is wide open too, so I think it was pretty genius to go get Harden. Even though I'm not a Harden fan, I definitely don't like Harden. He can
keep his head on straight for like half a year though. So
and he's better than he makes you better than Garland,
yes.
Like for sure. So like you're like Garland wasn't going to boost you anything. Harden at least gives you like a next level upside. I think he'll hurt you at some point, but for Cleveland, he's not going to hurt you until way past the expectation of like it could be in the finals when he hurts you or something. He just makes you have two guys now that can create anything on the court, which is a luxury. How many teams in the league have two guys that can get offense whenever they want it. There can't be many. I mean,
Yeah.
some of the best teams can, obviously, but there's not that many teams that have two guys that can score on anyone. So that's a luxury. Bad part is about a game like tonight, you got everyone healthy for Cleveland. You got a terrible matchup versus Brooklyn where it could blow out. You got a lot of bodies, and you got the prices up. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, 9,500, Harden, 9K. I mean, I just don't see Mobley's back, but he was out for a while, 8,500. You're not going to play him. Yeah, I don't really see how you can play anyone from Cleveland. That they would be a fade for me. And then Brooklyn is a team I just don't see how you can trust in Cleveland coming off the break. I mean, MPJ's been awesome. He's 8,600 though versus Cleveland. That's not something I need. It's almost like a spot where if I play a couple pieces, I'll probably just play both sides, like lean into Donnie or Harden and then lean into a few of these Nets pieces. Because if it stays close, it's probably because of MPJ just stroking a bunch of shots, which brings the other guys back in and correlated a little bit. Day'Ron Sharpe's been awesome lately. He in theory could get it too. He's been really good. And going against a team that likes to play big, I could see using him too. But kind of like the example you used with Indiana, if Day'Ron Sharpe's going to be 30% owned and he's 6K and he's against a tough matchup.
Brutal matchup with Allen and Mobley down there.
Yeah, brutal versus a guy like Day'Ron. And at 30%, and back to the guy that was talking about chalk earlier, we're now saying that we don't like some of the chalk. Like you can't play it all and you can't fade it all in NBA. You should be closer to the chalk than the other way, though. So I think I like some of these younger guys a little bit more. Like Demon, I like his talent level. Only 4,900, especially because I think a few of these guys could play even in a blowout. I could see them getting some run, which is nice. Traore, I think that's how you pronounce it. If not, make fun of me. But Traore's been pretty nice at 4,600. Yeah, that you can't play Wolf at 5,600. That's priced way too high for him. I don't like love this game though. For whatever reason, every time we do a show, I feel like Brooklyn's kind of my fades. They don't have heavy chalk tonight, but Day'Ron at 30% feels pretty tough to me.
Especially he's not that cheap, right? 5,900. Like he needs to get
mid-30s.
Yeah, 35. Which he could for sure. I don't think he's like a terrible play, but feels a little bit overowned. And then speaking of rules, I mean, I think you could make one to play max one of Mitchell or Harden, right? Because if both those guys are crushing, this game is not going to be close, and you're going to lose the fourth quarter run. So that could be a rule you may give a preference between Mitchell and Harden. Looks like
man, it's such a draw for me. Yeah. I would probably stick Mitchell, but man, Harden can do more than Mitchell. Mitchell can score more, I think, these days, but Harden can stuff that stat sheet with way more categories.
Yeah,
I do think, like, so when I run Saber, like the Sims, it gives me a lot of these Brooklyn, like Traore, even Porter Jr., who's only projected to be 9% owned or something by RunPure, 4% by Saber Sim. It puts him in my main lineup. So, like, I think there's some leverage a little bit to the Brooklyn side when you look. I always like to – do you do that? Like, I like to look at the projections, what it gives me, and then the Sims, what it gives me. And some of, like, the weird guys that pop out when it comes to the Sims, I always at least take note of. Doesn't mean I always play him. Doesn't mean I'm going to play MPJ tonight. But he hits my main team, and he's only projected 4% owned on Saber. You have to take, at least I think you have to take note of guys like that. And you got upside. Like MPJ, no matter what you think of him, can get hot from three and can score 40. So he has to have upside. So I don't know. Maybe I need to reconsider Brooklyn a little bit. Coming out of the break, maybe Cleveland is asleep a little bit. And what I talked about early in the show, guys like Mitchell and Harden have been through that a million times, the all-star stuff. They might be a little jet lagged a little bit from all the stuff and come back a little. I mean, who knows what Harden did all break? He was probably all kinds of situations.
He probably had a more fun break than we did.
Yes, he definitely got after it more than we did, 100%.
Yeah. I do think if you're, playing one of Harden or Mitchell, I do think Porter Jr. is the play on the other side because he's the guy that's got to be, get hot from three, like you said, to keep Brooklyn in it. So not the best game, but yeah, we'll move to Detroit and the New York Knicks. This should be really good real life basketball game. Two good teams. Knicks favored by around 220 or so total. Looks like the Knicks should be, I believe, fully healthy for this game. I guess still missing Deuce McBride, but everybody else should be in there. Yeah, OG probable, so looks like he's going to play too. But Detroit, though, still has the suspended guys, both Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren going to sit this game out due to the suspension. Should be Paul Reed who gets the start again, coming off a monster game back on the 11th, put up 46 fantasy points in that one. He was super low owned on that slate at 5,500. I was surprised. He's one of my favorite plays. He crushed. I think it's another good spot for Paul Reed. He's actually played really well in the minutes. Just didn't get that many minutes with playing behind Jalen Duren. They never play together. So Reed gets a chance here. I really like him at 5,700, but he is going to be highly owned. One of the highest owned guys on the slate. Looks like around 40% for Paul Reed. I think I'm still in, even at the big number. I think it's a matchup upgrade for Towns with no Jalen Duren in there. I could see Towns getting the scoring going. Cade, I think, is a pretty good play. And, we talked about the Indiana, Washington, the minutes are so hard to project and so unreliable. In this game, I think both teams going to want to win this game. And I think we'll see the stars, especially after the rest. I could see a lot of players in this game playing 35 to 40 minutes, which makes it pretty appealing, even with a relatively low total. So should be a good one here. What do you see, T, between Detroit and the Knicks?
Yeah, one thing to note about Paul Reed, I always like to look where SaberSim is way higher than other projection sources, including us at Run Pure. And Paul Reed is projected for 35 from SaberSim, 37 on is. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. 37 ownership, 35 fantasy points. Whereas it's only like 31 RPS, 32 other. So SaberSim and the Sims are loving Paul Reed coming off what'd you say the other night? 50 piece or something? Big game from Paul Reed the other night.
Yeah.
I think the spot's great. And you get a Knicks team that I like to pick on with guys like Paul Reed, that their roster's a bunch of wings and Cat, where Cat's too slow for Paul Reed, and the wings are probably too small for Paul Reed. So it's a interesting matchup for me. I've always liked him too. Like, he was one of those guys in Denver that I liked. He just didn't fit what they were doing. Like, they had too many pieces for him to fit in. Detroit feels like a great fit for him. When Duren's out, he slides into that role. And
I was looking at on-off stuff and some of the advanced metrics that try to capture all the data, and those numbers love Paul Reed. Like, I don't actually think he's better than Jalen Duren, but per the numbers this year, he has been the more effective player on the court. So, that's kind of enough to have me eating the Paul Reed chalk. I'm fine with it at 5,700. I like him better than Daron Sharp for sure at a similar price point.
Yeah, we're on the same page for sure with that. I just don't love Daron. I think Paul Reed is a great play. Cade's one guy that I just feel like I can never play. Whenever I play him, he gets like 47, which is fine, but I don't need it. It's just one of those guys that I don't. The rest of the roster, too, from Detroit, I don't love. But Paul Reed, one of the better plays of the slate for me. I'm totally with you. The Knicks side, I guess I like Jalen Brunson a little bit, but I always struggle. Again, it's the sport I lean on projections more than any other sport. It's funny because I'm not really a projection guy in almost any sport, but NBA, I just think you have to. And Brunson's projection just sucks everywhere. And I think it's just the matchup's tough. In the playoffs, he struggled a little bit with Detroit. This year, he struggled a little bit with Detroit. I want to like him at 8,900. I just don't. Like, you're already playing Maxey. At least I am. I don't know how you can play him. He feels like I should like him, but then it's one of those plays that no matter what I project him at, I don't get any. And it's probably because like Maxi's projected in the 50s, Brunson's projected 41. Like you're just not gonna have to bump him up to almost 50 to get some. And do you really want to bump a guy 9 points just to get him? So I don't think I can play Brunson. So it's probably just Paul Reed for me here with you.
Yeah, I mean, Brunson's got to deal with Cade's defense, Oster's defense. I mean, maybe the best defensive team in the league, Detroit. So feels like more of a Detroit side to me. Paul Reed leading the way. I'm fine with Cade. Probably pass on Tobias Harris as usual. But yeah, mostly Paul Reed here.
So have you played Tobias all year?
I try not to. I have, but I try not to.
I'm pretty sure I haven't. I bet I'm sure I have, like when I multi-entered or something. But my main team, I know for a fact I haven't played. I can't. I refuse. I refuse to click that button.
Yeah, and you know Travis Mangone's out there with 150 Tobias teams that you're gonna have.
He's probably watching us right now. Travis, you'll make my day right now, Travis Mangone. If you type in that chat that you like Tobias tonight.
Get in there, Mangone. We'll keep it moving to the next game on the slate. It is the Raptors and the Bulls. Raptors favored by around 6 here, 233 total, so expected to be pretty high scoring. And I think both these teams should be relatively healthy. Looks like Giddey, Trey Jones are both in. Jalen Smith is in. A lot of questionable tags on DraftKings, but I think almost all of these guys are actually going to end up playing. Maybe not Mamu, but everyone else I think should be in there. Giddey going to have the keys again. Should get his minutes back up relatively quickly, but he has missed a few weeks here. So maybe a few less minutes for Giddey. Obviously, Vucevic traded from the Bulls as well. Saber doesn't have a ton of value in this game. Looks like RJ Barrett, the best value per the projections there at 6,300. I don't love this one, T, with both teams pretty healthy. You see anything here that stands out?
The Bulls are going to be real tough right now with Giddey coming back in the rotation. Giddey's price point looks cheap until you realize that there's just no way that he's going to play all that many minutes, especially for a team like the Bulls. Yeah. And Toronto's somewhat like good on defense against a guy like Giddey. They have a lot of length and stuff like that. So I don't really see how you can go. I'm looking at all these prices. Jalen Smith, 5,900 is tough. Sexton's always the guy I like, but even he's in the 5Ks. Trey Jones, I feel like a couple of these guys were missing too. Like Trey Jones has been out too, right? He's just working his way back. I don't remember him being in there.
He's missed some time. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Okoro. Yeah. I mean, they just have a lot of bodies. So I'm definitely not super crazy about Chicago. Toronto's a team that's been awesome the first half. I think they keep playing well. RJ Barrett, looks chalky, but again, against the Bulls, 6,300, the minutes are going to be there. I think RJ Barrett's a pretty reasonable play at 6,300. Someone asked about Quickly. I always like Quickly, and the good part about him, he's another low-owned guy. You need a few low-owned guys. We both want to play chalk, but you need a few to win a slate and to win first place in the tournament. You need a guy like Quickly where you go in on Quickly and he drops you a 50 piece or something in there with all your chalk at low ownership. And Quickly against the Bulls, I think it's a great matchup for him against this Bulls team.
He's too quick. He's too quick for Josh Giddey. I think he can get to the rim. They don't
great
really
word to use too there.
Yeah,
I like that.
Exactly. Trey Jones is small. Sexton doesn't play defense. Ivy and Simons. I think Toronto's offense, I think, should be really efficient in this game. I just don't see much defensive prowess from the Bulls with the current roster. So I'm not going crazy with Toronto, but yeah, I do like Barrett, kind of a lineup stabilizer, I think, at 6,300. Unlikely to hurt you. I don't know if he's going to go absolutely off, but I bet he has a pretty solid game here. I think
he did say the only issue with him is like with Ingram, Quickly, and Barnes in there.
Yeah.
You see why Toronto's good too this year. Like that's a tough 4 guys there. I mean, that's a good little core. And then like Murray Boyles too has been incredible this year. Sheed is a defender. I mean, this team's a nice little sneaky team, honestly. Their roster's solid. They might not have like the title winning upside from their stars, but there's no one wants to play them. I guarantee that. They got solid guys.
I mean, when you have the four scorers, like you said, you can kind of hunt matchups, right? Because all those guys can kind of get it done depending on how the game's going in the individual matchup. So, yeah, I think Toronto probably wins this one pretty easily, frankly, and not the best DFS game, but yeah, Barrett looks good. Quickly would be my second favorite. I think Barnes at 9,100 seems a little pricey, but yeah, you could play him. But we're both on the
Barnes is one of the guys that I hardly ever like either. I feel like he's always more risky than other studs, but I do think he's got like upside with steals and blocks and different things. But I hate when you need that. Like, I'd rather my 9,100 guy be able to just get buckets, and he's not quite there. I mean, of all those offensive guys, he's probably number 4 of all of them, honestly, on the offense. Not overall, obviously, but just offense going and scoring.
Yeah. Makes total sense. We'll move to the final game of the slate, 8:30 Eastern time lock for this one. Phoenix and it is on the slate, right? Yeah, there it is. Phoenix, San Antonio Spurs. Spurs favored by 8 here, 230 total. News and notes: Dylan Brooks suspended for a game, I believe. Technical foul accumulation for Brooks, so he'll be out. Pretty big loss for Phoenix. He's been good for them this year. They may also be without Grayson Allen, who's questionable in this one, and then Cole Anthony, who they traded for, not ready to go. So a little bit shorthanded from Phoenix. Spurs, though, look like they should be mostly healthy, the Spurs. So should be a good game here, too. I think good one to watch. Obviously, Wemby can always play him. Booker should have a little bit bigger role, I think, with Brooks out. So yeah, the stars certainly look good to me here, but with the teams mostly healthy, it looks like a lot of the, kind of bench guys or, non-stars might be a little bit overpriced here. You see anything you like in Phoenix and San Antonio?
Yeah, Phoenix is going to be a tough spot. I mean, Booker's another guy that it's funny how you like always get to guys you like and don't like. I used to like Booker. I hate Booker now. I don't like his game. I don't like how he is. 8,300 feels cheap to where I should like him, but he just hasn't shown me anything. And Phoenix has been great this year, which is weird why Booker, he's been good. Don't get me. This is almost like my KD thing in a way where, like, I know he's a good player. I do. I know KD is one of the world-class players ever, but it's just like something about Booker's game. I just don't like it. I don't think he's like as good as, and it goes together because they both were on the team that couldn't make the playoffs. So it just, I don't know. I don't love Booker. Can't really go. I mean, Grayson Allen's 7,500. There's, even if he plays, you're not playing him. Mark Williams, Jalen Graham. They've got a lot of guys. And Jalen Green, he hasn't played much, right? How many games has he even played?
Not many. Yeah.
When's it? I was trying. Let me see here. So he's
like 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, like 6, 7. Yeah. Only 5 games. I don't see how you can really like Phoenix. One of the sneaky guys on the slate for me, though, is Wemby. You almost get a little bit of the Jokic thing where no one's going to play him tonight at center with some of the center plays that are out there, like Vooch and stuff. And I think he's another guy coming off that All-Star break. You heard all the quotes, like Wemby was the one pushing us. Wemby was the one like going hard. I think he's another young guy coming off that weekend that starts to ramp up, that starts to get things cooking. And we have enough value. I mean, look at his ownership, 8%.
Yeah.
All that upside, I have to like Wemby. I don't see how you wouldn't like Wemby, honestly. He looks like, TJ McConnell out. So hopefully these Indiana news starts to drop a little bit here for us so we can get a few. That'll make that was what I was saying about Indiana. Like, if a few of those guards are out, Nembhard does become a pretty good play at 7,300.
Yeah, against the Wizards. If he gets the minutes, I think he could go off. We'll see if what, Jackson and Neesmith too. Still questionable. I haven't seen the update.
What if they're all three out somehow? Then we're going to be right back into the Indiana trap, and we're going to hate ourselves. Neesmith is out, as we said it.
I hope most people play. I don't want to play.
No, one dude said Neesmith in, and the other dude said out. Come on, James. Don't be giving me bad info saying out.
Looks like he's in. Yeah, Neesmith. Good.
I actually am glad that I don't want them all to be out.
Yeah, I don't want to be forced into playing 3 or 4 Pacers. It's no fun. I am with you on Wemby, though. I mean, the minutes were kind of ramping up before the break. Played 33, 34 minutes in a couple of those games, and should be competitive game, an important one in the standings as well with 2 good Western Conference teams. So this does feel like a game where Wemby's minutes maybe tick up a little bit if it remains close. So he's by far my favorite play on the Spurs. I don't really see much else on the Spurs at all. I mean, at least for the Sabre projections, all these guys are a little bit overpriced. So mostly Wemby. Phoenix side, I mean, yeah, Booker, I just don't play very often. You see anything on Phoenix you want to play? I don't see much.
No, I mean, no. They might be one of my least favorites on the whole slate with how many pieces they got. I feel like they got a lot of bodies just looking all the way down that list. I do not love it.
No, me neither. Wemby or Maxey? I'm on the Maxey train, but I like Wemby a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to like Maxey probably in that, but Wemby has more just low owned up. I mean, Maxey's going to be, what do we say, high 30s. Wemby's going to be single digits. So you're getting a lot less ownership for the upside. And you can easily just play both of them too. Like there's plenty of value out there. I will say though, the one good thing about Wemby, the ownership, because you got Vooch, Day'Ron Sharp, Paul Reed, who we liked, Wemby, Bona, all of these guys are center only. So, like, with all the value, I mean, there's no way Wemby gets steamed even. He's going to come in like 5% owned, I think. And to get Wemby, that's the ultimate leverage, right, in NBA when you're playing chalk. To be able to leverage all the cheap chalk, which we like. I mean, you love Paul Reed. I like Paul Reed. People love Day'Ron Sharp. I like Bona. I like Vooch a lot, obviously. You can just leverage the field, though. When Vooch gets like 22, Bona gets 13, and Wemby gets 65, you're leveraging the entire field. Just know that it's that's why he's low owned, though, because of how many good center plays there are.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it sorted by ownership here, and like 3 or 4 of the top 5 owned guys are centers. So yeah, that just means like nobody can play Wemby.
It makes me want to play Wemby so bad. Yeah. And some of the centers have like actual risk, like Bona, who's not one of the guys that's even on there, but I just like his price and stuff. But Vooch could easily get in foul trouble or something. The problem is that these guys are good plays. You're going to need foul trouble to probably not. And Paul Reed, I love your Paul Reed call. So what if we build a team without any of the cheap ones and we play Paul Reed and Wemby or something? You're totally leveraging the field.
Yeah, I'm playing Paul Reed today for sure. I'll say it now, he's my play of the day. We were going to get to that, but I'll put it out there. Paul Reed for me.
PJ Hall, who's now? I'm curious. Who's PJ Hall play for?
I don't know. I'm not sure that's a real person, is it?
He was at Clemson. I remember him at Clemson, but I don't.
Charlotte.
What is he? I don't see him in. Oh,
Backup for Charlotte.
His projection is way lower than Bona, but he was good in college. I liked him in college. Yeah. PJ, man, I'll tell you what, that's a sneaky play. It's just another center, though, is the problem. Like if you're in that, if you're entering a bunch of teams tonight, I think PJ Hall is a sneaky play that he brings up. I can't do it on my main team because of center, but I think, what do you think? His numbers look pretty good. I didn't even know he was getting like time.
I didn't realize he's playing so many minutes either. So yeah, I mean, if he's going to get 15, 20 minutes, 3,200, I wish he was a different position, obviously. Because
if he was power forward, I would like seriously be considered. I love that call from Carl. I think it's a great call. It's just really tough at center when we like all these, because he was good in college. Like he's a super talented guy. I just don't know. I'm only playing the one team tonight, so I don't know if I can pull the man trigger and drop balls on the table and play it. But if I was playing a bunch of even 20 teams, I'd play some of him.
I'll have to text my guy Steve Boynton and get the college scouting report from PJ.
It's almost his time. We're almost to March. It's Stevie's time, baby.
Probably seen all 100 games of Paul Reed or PJ Hall's college career. You can give me the
He's going to be tilting later. He's going to be like, Paul Reed never went for 50 in his life, and now he's got 50 in the NBA. They play no defense.
We love Steve. Let's do anti-play of the day, Big T. I've got it sorted by the Sabre ownership here. Vucevic leading the way at 40% ownership. Which of these guys is going to be the chalk bust of the night?
It's not going to be Vooch. I can't do Vooch. I don't like Huff, but I can't give him as my anti either. He's probably going to be solid. I just don't think he's got upside. Like, I think he gets somewhere around his projection. Man, it's got to be, as you're working your way down, it's got to be, who do I really hate up there? Go back up again a little bit. I seen one. Oh, it's got to be our boy. We both talked about him, though. That's the advantage to going first. But Day'Ron Sharpe,
yeah,
we're talking. I want it to be a center because we like all these centers. He's the only risky part at all with him is he's been good, like really good going into the All-Star break. But when I want to fade some chalk, I want it to be at a position where I can leverage the field with cheap guys and expensive guys, or just play Paul Reed, like you said, and he can lap him. I think it's got to be Day'Ron Sharpe for me. I really don't see a ton else at the top of the ownership. It would probably be Jay Huff or something as my number 2, but I don't love that fade.
I'm good with the Jay Huff fade. Well, I'll make him my anti-play of the day. Just don't trust the minutes. Don't trust the team. And, listen, Jay Huff, not really that great of a player anyway. So I feel comfortable.
The only good part of Huff, though, is he's power forward at least. He's not just center. Yeah. He gets the forward eligibility, which just springboards his ownership even more, though.
Yeah. He gets benched all the time. I don't know. I just don't love the Jay Huff play on a tanking team like that. So I'll go with him. I like the Sharpe fade too. I just think Reed is the much better play at similar price and ownership. So we'll get rid of those two centers. Let's go over to play of the day. Big T, I said Paul Reed is mine. Talked about a bunch of guys we like, but who's your play of the day tonight?
I like the Paul Reed call. Let me find. I don't want to give just one of these dead chalk guys that we like.
It's sort of by value here.
Yeah, let me see what we got here. I mean, is it? I will say it because I love the play. I'm going to say Wemby, low owned. I think no one's going to play him. I like a lot of guys up in that high ownership bracket. I don't want to come on and give some 40% owned guy, though. So I think Wemby is a great leverage play tonight. I always like it with Jokic, too, when they're not going to be owned. And it's always these slates, right, where he's priced way up and you got all the cheap centers that are in good spots. And then Jokic or Wemby goes for 80 and you just destroy the field. So I'll say Wemby as my play of the night.
Love it. Love the
Quentin Jackson was out too. Did we see that?
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but yeah, looks like that's the case.
Cam Jones has to be a pretty good play then and Nembhard has to be a decent amount better play now with two guards out.
Yeah, if I felt confident about the Nembhard minutes, I would like
Carlisle's just going to put him right on the bench. You can see it coming.
Tilting. So I don't know if I'll get there, but I agree. I think like on a permanent basis, he should be pretty damn good out there. That'll do it for this show, though. Good to be back here in the NBA streets. Appreciate all you guys watching. Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't done yet. And for members, I'll have my MLB best ball rankings up later tonight for people diving into that. So
I see you had some nice write-ups for the people too going. Somebody sent me a preview. It wasn't you. It was someone else sent me a preview of your work. It looked good.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff coming over at Run Pure Sports. So join us. Get in the Discord. We'll be in there. answering questions, getting lineups ready for lock about an hour from now. For now, though, that'll do it for Big T. I'm DC. We're out of here.